Yo, what's good guys? Welcome back to another YouTube video. Today we're reacting to Killer Whale Commits Suicide. This is I never heard of this. It says like I'm as shocked at the title as you guys are. It says Killer Whale Commits Suicide. I wasn't really sure animals were capable of suicide, but hey, this is something it's a new time to learn. But yeah, if you're new here, don't forget to like and subscribe and recommend me more videos to react to in the link in the description. And yeah, let's watch.
This is the tragic story of Hugo, the orca. Hugo was captured at around 4 to 6 years of age in February 1968 in Vaughan Bay, Washington. Hugo, named after an airplane pilot, was then sent to the Miami Seaquarium. It took him 85 days to arrive. Hugo was then placed into a pool dubbed the Celebrity Pool, which is so small, today it houses manatees.
And this, ladies and gentlemen, is the tank where Hugo the orca lived while they were building the Killer Whale Stadium. At 12 feet deep and about 15 to 20 feet long. Far too small for a 22-foot, 12,000-pound orca.
Oh, what
He
the
lived
heck?
in that tank for 2 years, performing daily. Then, in August of 1970, Lolita the orca was captured.
Sounds they made were what we really noticed. What you really felt were the cries of both the small ones and the adult ones. And I remember one day I stopped over there right close to them with my children that were very small.
So, this whale was actually depressed. Like, that's crazy, isn't that? Oh, whoa, animals are, I mean, killer whales are really smart. It's not surprising that they feel this kind of emotion, but depression? That's pretty new to me. Like, it's not even like being dumb, it's just like depression, animals. Never thought of it that way. Wow. Poor whales.
And they kept saying, why are they crying? They're crying. It just broke your heart, everybody that saw them. And you kept wanting them to let them go. Quit harassing them.
Six young whales were captured, at least 3
Lolita
orcas
was
drowned.
purchased for $6,000
Drowned?
by the Miami Seaquarium. A small circular
6,000?
tent was constructed for Lolita called the Whale Bowl. Hugo and Lolita started to call out for each other, so the trainers put them together. At first, they were aggressive towards each other. In addition, Hugo became aggressive towards his handlers. Nevertheless, the orca completed 5 to 6 shows per day for the 10 years they were together. Hugo
Oh yeah, I heard. Oh, when these get, what do you call it? When they're, is it sad or depressed, they kill their trainers. I don't know where I heard that, but I heard it somewhere. That's crazy, isn't it? Oh man.
Lolita eventually made
I guess there's more to learn about animals.
Employees.
Imagine they
Lolita
just
was
bite off
pregnant
his
a few
head.
times, but never delivered a live offspring. An astrologer was hired to foresee the future of the 2 whales.
That's insane. Hugo's death.
Hugo died in March 1980 of a brain aneurysm, according to marine mammal inventory reports. He had a history of slamming into tank walls, and once, he even broke the glass viewing windows, cutting off the tip of his nose. The brain aneurysm was a consequence of him repeatedly smashing his head against the concrete walls. It was called an act of suicide. Hugo had spent 12 years in captivity at the Seaquarium. After 12 years of performing and making millions for the Miami Seaquarium, his reward was the Seaquarium ditching his body into a dump. No plaques, no statues, no mention of his name anywhere at the park.
Yo, that's pretty crazy. Like, I know it's just an animal, and other people would be like, ah, animals, blah, blah, blah. They're just animals. But this is, like, different. Like, he actually killed himself. Yeah, I mean, really, it makes sense. I don't know, I would not take my own life. But, like, for other people or animals, like, 12 years in captivity and, like, in a pool like that, yeah, it makes sense. It just makes sense why he do that. And, like, yo, and they still capture whales today. Like, what even happens to these people? It's like they get away with it. I might be an advocate for whales
Never
soon.
saw the ocean or his mother again, just like Lolita. There have been many reported suicide attempts by cetaceans. If this isn't a determinate sign these animals don't belong in confined spaces, what is? Research has
They don't
proven that
belong in
orcas
confined
have a number
spaces.
of complex cognitive abilities, such as self-recognition and the ability to feel empathy, which means that cetaceans, just as humans, are vulnerable to emotional and social stresses that can lead to considerable harm.
Let's see what happened. Not gonna lie, bro,
Today,
killer whale shows
Lolita
don't look
still
that
lives
interesting
alone in her
either.
tank, with no other killer whale companions. She has been living in that same tiny tank for over 50 years and is the oldest
50?
living killer whale in captivity.
Oh boy. She's gonna end her life too soon, I'm guessing.
Whew, wow. I mean, I knew this was small, but this small? On an average day when I'm out with orca in the wild, I can follow them for 5 to 8 hours, and I can follow them over easily 50 kilometers. And in that time frame, I would see them typically sleeping, hunting, socializing. They would be food sharing. They would obviously be traveling during that time frame. And yet when you see an orca...
Yo, not gonna lie, her job, that sounds boring. Following animals for 8 hours. No one wants to do that. 8 hours, no one has that type of time. That's a job. Full time. And I bet the whales don't appreciate that too. Hey, but free that whale, man. It's like prison.
Captivity,
it's like
you see them just either lying there despondently, or you see what's termed stereotypic behaviors, and those are abnormal, repetitive behaviors. So that might be chewing on the concrete, it might be swimming in a circle. People are used to seeing animals like bears or tigers pacing up and down. You see exactly the same thing with whales and dolphins when you know what to look for. They just go round and round the tank. They typically surface at exactly the same spot. And the fact that these animals can't travel, they're confined within these tiny little blue cylinders, is really, really difficult to watch. So this is very typical stereotypic behavior.
Why aren't they freeing her? I mean, him, her, whatever it's called.
So I just went in to see Lolita, and I know the facts. I mean, I know exactly the dimensions of the tank. I know the dimensions of her, but when you actually see it, you realize how tragically small that tank is.
Hugo would still be alive
plan in place to help
if it was
Lolita
bigger.
retire. It involves training her for simple things like being able to move in a bigger environment and to be able to catch live fish again. And we would never just throw her out into the ocean.
Nah, give up on that. It's 50 years in a tank, man. Or she's 50 years old. I don't know how long she's been in that tank for, but you can't teach an old whale new tricks. Or can you teach old dog new tricks, maybe. But yeah, man, at this point, just let her go. It's like she served her
Say,
time.
right, you're on your own, sunshine. So the idea with the rehabilitation plan is that she would be retired into a little secluded cove that would be netted off. And that would give her the ocean experience, but on a small scale, so that she wouldn't be frightened. She'd have rocky bottom, pebbles, seaweed, fish, and the currents and the waves, all of those things that should be what she should have in her natural life, not in this sea circus that she's having to do here, purely for people's entertainment. You're using an animal that's just basically a facsimile, a puppet of what a real orca is. It's just tragic that she's been kept in there in that torturous environment for this long.
The last clip looked like she was having fun. But hey man, save the whales. Save the whales. That's pretty sad. But yeah, hopefully that gets well soon. But yeah, if you made it this far, thank you and have a nice day.